Hello, dog lovers. Welcome to a live session on Saro Dog Training channel. Hope you're doing well. If you're new here and if you're first time on this channel, my name is Saro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners. And on in this channel, we focus on training dogs using a simple and healthy method of training dogs without the use of treats, food, aversive tools like shock collars, prong collars, um, force, domination, or being alpha. Instead, we're going to use uh, play and praise as a reward to train your dog. What that means is we're rewarding our dogs using a play, which is a natural activity for most dogs, and also praise, which is something that most dogs love to get, and most humans love to share praise to their dogs. The reason I'm bringing this up is because one of my there's a question that has also been asked very often channel is, can you please tell me why you are saying not to give treats to dogs or puppies or beagle while training? And the reason I suggest not to use treats is not because I I hate treats and treats are bad. There are good treats, there are bad treats. But the main reasons why I suggest not to use treats, number one reason is because we actually don't need to use treats. Treats, using treats or uh, depending on treats to use to train to the dogs is something that companies, manufacturing companies, especially the food companies, have come up with this plan and idea that if you use treats to train your dogs, obviously they're going to sell more products, but also they make you to depend on their products to in order to uh, train your dog. We don't need to use uh, treats or food to train dogs. Treats or food, I think, are more useful when we are training a wild animal where we don't have any connection to that wild animal. But when we are talking about dogs, family pet dogs that have been designed and bred by humans for humans, we have already developed that connection, that attachment between us and them. We are very connected that we don't really need to use treats to communicate to them. In a way, when you are using treats, you are not really connecting to your dog, and that is the main problem, and I think is one of the main reasons why dog owners have dogs or pets as which have a lot of behavioral issues is because humans, they don't really take the time to connect to their dogs, so therefore they use a shortcut, which one of them is treats or food, to in order to ask their dogs to trust them, to connect with them, to listen to them, to do something. Whereas you can actually naturally you can ask a dog to do anything without the use of treats or food. I usually say that dogs will do anything for you for free. The problem is that you start using treats or food to ask them to get them to do something for you, where it becomes a confusion for your dog, because your dog gets confused and stressed because the dog says, "Oh, I was going to do this thing for you for free, but now you're bringing treats or food to for me to do something. So now I'm do you want me to do something for you for food? I was going to do it for you for nothing, but now you're bringing food. So do I have to expect the food now? So you're bringing an additional stressor in a way, an additional confusion in the relationship and in the training process. So naturally, dogs don't need treats to be trained. So that's number one. Number two is that number two reason why I don't suggest using treats to train your beagle or your dog is because it causes a lot of health issues to develop in your dog. Animals and dogs in general, they're type of animals, creatures that they don't need to eat all the time. They eat only when they are hungry. That's the natural way of living for an animal. They don't eat constantly like humans do. And they only eat when they have to, and this can happen in a day or two or three at a time when they feel hungry. Every animals, most dogs, they fast all the time. The fasting is something that it happens naturally in the nature, and with animals is that they fast, they don't eat, right? So naturally also, it's not biologically and naturally, it's not healthy to constantly feed our dogs on top of the problem that we have, which is we feed our dogs two, three times, five times a day, or free feed them. On top of that, we use treats to constantly train them and ask them to do something, which is again, it becomes unnatural and unhealthy. So that's another reason why I don't suggest using food or treats to train dogs. Now, there are many other reasons that I have shared in my channel that you can go ahead and research and then find out why is it that I don't suggest to use treats to train dogs. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna start answering your questions in a moment. First of all, I wanted to welcome you again to the channel and to the show. It's been a while. I have been away. Not that I have been away. It's just that I've been busy. Now, due to high demand and many requests of you viewers like you, that have been asking when is the live show coming, because I want to ask questions. So that's why I decided to go live today and answer your questions. And next week also I'll be going live as well on Wednesday, August 19th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to reach out to different group and areas of this world, viewers like you, and answer their questions as well. So make sure if you are interested to watch that live show as well, which is Wednesday, August 19th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you want to support the channel, make sure to use the super chat to get your questions answered right away, and I will try to answer as many questions as possible throughout this an hour that we have, and hopefully you can hear me and see me well and everything is going well. And if there's a problem, please let me know in the chat area, and I'll address everything. And Nandit is saying hi. Durga is saying hi. Durga is asking how to stop biting for beagle. By the way, if you're asking questions, make sure that you give me a little bit more information, like your beagles or your dog's age, maybe even the sex, 5 months old female beagle, something like that. Add that in your question so I have better idea of answering your questions. So if you have a beagle that is biting, I'm guessing it's a puppy. So it's a puppy biting issue that you're having. And the reason puppies bite, there are a few reasons that happens. One is they're teething, which means they're replacing their puppy teeth with adult teeth, so it kind of their gum is annoying. It kind of feels a different sensation, and in order to release or relieve that sensation, they will be biting and chewing things. It makes them feel good, so you want to provide chew toys, good, healthy chew toys, and also maybe even raw bones. Any raw bones that you can provide your puppy, that would be a good solution. The other reason, it could be boredom, that they're just bored and they're biting just to get entertained. Maybe you want to provide some playtime with your other puppies or playtime with you, maybe walking, maybe exercising, something mental, physical stimulation, provide training, training like using play and praise reward system that I recommend and I show in my channel. The other reason could be that, your puppy is not stimulated enough. Not it's just become a habit, and it's something that they're doing now just to get your attention. So make sure that you're providing a good amount of exercise and physical and mental stimulation. I have a video on my channel that I have talked about uh, beagles biting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share that video on the channel, on the chat area. You can go ahead and watch that video for more details. So effective beagle puppy biting solutions, it's in the chat area. Go ahead and watch that. We have traveling. Are there any problems when we buy a beagle puppy during rainy season, like smell or something? uh, uh, when you get a dog, whether you're getting a beagle or any dog, your life changes. You have to get used to everything changes. You have to get used to different things, different smells, and having a different lifestyle. It changes, so you can't be so picky about smell. And there would be smells, and there would be stains, and there would be all kinds of weird things in your house, in your life now, that it will be unusual than if you don't have a dog. And all dog owners can support me on that. Yeah, it's you're gonna have different smells. Dogs, when wet dogs smell different. So yes. Cruz is asking, how often in a week can we feed non-veg to our 12-month-old beagle? I don't understand the question clearly. You don't want to feed vegetarian diet to your dog. That is something that I don't recommend, and many, and I will say all dog health uh, professionals will also suggest that you should not feed your dog vegetarian diet. It's not a natural diet for dogs. Dogs need to be eating 75% of their meal should be meat, and 25% only should be vegetables. So vegetables shouldn't be the main uh, source of diet or food for your beagle or your dog. It should be meat. Any kind of meat is fine, as long as it's 75% meat. Now, if you get involved with diet, it's a little bit different. 75%, meat we are talking about, but it should be something like, out of that 75%, 50% white meat, 25% something like red meat. So that's different topic. But yes, I don't suggest not feeding vegetarian diet to your dog anyways. But if that's the question, or that's the what it sounds like, I think I answered it. If there's any follow-up question, let me know. Durga is saying hi, thank you for being here. Um, Please tell to stop biting dog for being. Yeah, I just talked about it. So yes, a few minutes ago I just mentioned it. Sog is saying hi. Thank you for being here. Um, by the way, if you are new here in this channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that um, subscribe button. You'll see over. I think you'll see it here, somewhere around here. Hit that subscribe button, and also make sure that you're hitting the bell icon and choose all notifications. So whenever I go live or post a new video, you will be more notified. Phantom is saying my beagle bites a lot and he's 8 weeks old. Okay, lots of biting issues are coming, and Phantom is from India. Um, yeah, I just talked about biting. If you want to learn more, there's a video link in the chat area, effective puppy biting solutions in the chat area. Go ahead and watch that video. You have Arm 19. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. And by the way, Arm 19 reminded me. Arm 19. I'm guessing you were the one who commented, but Arm 19 was asking how come this channel is not growing as fast as should be. We should have more than million subscribers on this channel. And thank you for that feedback, and thank you for that support. And yes, we should have. And I want to ask everybody who's watching this channel, and if you're enjoying the content that you're getting on this channel, make sure to support the channel by sharing the channel with your friends, family, and whoever you come across. Just share the channel, share the videos, so everybody gets to know the channel, and that's how we can grow the channel as well. And the live show today is brought to you by my online dog training courses that you can join today and get a lot of information on this on the courses, using the courses about your dog. If you have a puppy and you need help with raising your puppy, all you need to know is in this course. I highly suggest you to join the puppy training course. If you have a puppy up to, I would say, 6 to 8 months, if you have a puppy and you're still having trouble raising your puppy, this is the course. If you want to learn what your dog's 5 essential needs are in depth, and understand how you can have a healthy and happy, well-behaved dog, and you want to raise a good dog and understand how to help them to live a good life with you, this is a course that you need to take. It's called A Dog's 5 Essential Needs. If you have trouble walking your dog and your dog is pulling on the leash, or you're having any kind of trouble walking your dog on a leash, you can join my leash training and walking and problem solving solutions, and uh, overall leash walking course that I go through all kinds of scenarios and techniques and ideas that teaches you how to walk your dog properly on a leash. And this is my main course. It's called Naked Dog Training, where you're going to learn basic obedience and all about. It's it's containing all the courses that I have and more in this one course, and it's one of those courses that you will be surprised to learn a lot of things. First of all, you learn how to train your dog without the use of treats, food, aversive tools, force, or domination. You're going to learn the basic obedience commands, and also you're going to learn how to walk your dog on a leash and how to problem solve. And if you're new here and new to my channel, and if you don't learn the concept of training dogs without the use of treats, food, and aversive tools, and using play and praise, you can join my free online course as well to get started. So let's get back to the questions. Okay. And where were we? Caroline is asking, how is the right way to put your beagle in his cage? This is something that you have to understand one concept, which is there are two types of dogs. Dogs who are den dogs and dogs who don't like den lifestyle. Den is something that naturally are dogs in general, and wolves, they are born in a den. That's where mama wolf will give birth to its puppies and will raise it there for a while, and then they come out of the den. Now, in human society, when we are breeding dogs, they're not really born in a den. They're born in a house of a breeder, a dog breeder, a beagle breeder, or whatever, and they they don't really have that natural connection with the den, which a crate or a cage or um, um, yeah, crate or cage is representing that den. So therefore, some dogs like the crate, some dogs don't like the crate. That's the reason why. So you have to see which one of them your puppy is. Is it loving the crate or is not loving the crate? So for instance, myself, I have beagles, one beagle and one beagle mix. My puppy, she loves the crate. Whenever she's done with her day or her activities and she needs a break, she just goes in the crate and that's it. That's her space, and she's done. She goes to sleep. She loves that space. Whereas my other beagle, Harvey, this one, uh, he he doesn't hate it. It's just that he can go there whenever he feels like. Once in a while, he'll just go in there. Whereas Jonah, I remember he didn't like to be in a crate. He liked to be more with human, near the human. He didn't like that detachment. So it all depends on how your dog, how your beagle is in general. So you can't force them to like it. You can teach them to like it, and do your best to get them to like it. I have a video that on my channel that you can go ahead and watch it. Let me see if I can find it for you. Yeah, I'm gonna share this video in the chat area, how to kennel train puppies and dogs. By the way, if you want me to answer your questions right away, make sure to use the super chat option. Otherwise, your question may not be answered today. So the super chat will give me the option of, will give you and me the option of answering your question for sure, and also you're supporting the channel. If you like what you're getting in this channel and if you're enjoying the content on this channel, please feel free to support the channel as well. So yeah, I just posted a video in the video link in the chat area. It talks about crate training. Next one is born to dance. That's great. Great profile name. I have a 1-year-old beagle. His name was Happy, and okay, we lost the question there. That's it. Let's go to Sugita. How to make my 5-month-old husky to greet other dogs, especially other same age puppies. She was very mouthy and growling while meeting my sister's 4-month-old GSD. So what happens when you don't teach a dog or a puppy how to greet other dogs? This is the problem that you're going to come across, and it's going to get worse if you actually don't practice and don't teach your dog how to greet other dogs, and especially greet people in general. One of the problems is that you let your dog to do whatever it wants and however it wants to greet other people or dogs, and that is the problem. When you, in a way, you don't want to restrict them. When you restrict with a leash and you tell them no, don't do this and don't do that, you're causing the dog to get more frustrated, and therefore it will behave worse than last time anyways. So the idea here is not to restrict them, but I want you to teach your dog or your puppy, this is how I want you to greet dogs or greet people. The way you do that is not to expect or not to uh, just practice when you're greeting other dogs. You have to practice it before and after, or after a dog or a people, people come across, because the only time probably you're training or trying to train or teach your dog is when you're seeing other dogs or other people, and that maybe once or twice a day, and that's not the time, or that's not the state of mind that it's ideal for the dog to learn or for you to teach. Because when the dog is jumping and misbehaving and is greeting the person or the dog unwantingly, the way you don't want it to greet, the mindset or the brain or the focus of the dog is somewhere else. It's not where you want it to be, which is to learn. So that's not the time to train your dog or teach your dog. That's the time to remove the dog from that scenario and go and practice and teach the dog somewhere else. So you have some idea of teaching the dog what to do, and the dog has some idea of what it's supposed to do. So what you want to do is you want to train the dog in a calm state of mind when there's no distractions first. Teach the dog to sit and stay, which are two great commands to teach the dog to, when you're greeting other people, when you come across another dog or another person, this is what I want you to do. I want you to sit and stay. Then once you're calm and relaxed, then you can go and greet that dog or that person. So you start with teaching the dog to sit and stay. And then once the dog learns that, then you have to ask your friends and families, maybe 2, 3, 4 times a day for a month or so to come and create that environment and situation that you can practice that with friends and family. So don't practice and train the dog only when you're meeting new people or new dogs. You want to practice and train the dog when the dog is calm and relaxed, so it can learn. So when it learns, when it has learned something, then you can ask your puppy to do the behavior that you want. So you can't just expect the dog or your puppy to know this. You have to teach your dog. So hopefully that makes sense. I hope that's how you ask your dog to greet other people or dogs. I have a note here: born to dance. question was, I have a beagle named Happy, and his hair was falling in summer days. Also, so how to stop his hair falling? Okay. Oh, so you mean it's shedding, and it's a so one of the things is that dogs shed, and it's a shedding season. You know, there are about two. I would say every season, every time the season changes. I'm answering Born to Dance question now. Every time the season changes, um, dogs tend to shed. They're replacing the undercoat comes off or goes in, so they're replacing those. The reason for that is, let's say if it's transitioning from spring to summer, from cool weather to hot weather, they have to let go of some of the fur on their skin, on their body, to be able to cool off during the summer. And when fall comes towards cool weather again, they have more. They need to. This happens internally and automatically and naturally. But they shed and replace, and get replaced with hair, or shed to cool off or get warm. So that's natural thing that happens. It's called shedding. So you need to brush your dog, and this will happen few times a year, depending on the weather changes. And to be honest with you, lately, because of the global warming, whether you believe it or not, there's lots. The weather hasn't been usual. It's very unusual. For example, in here in this part of the the world, in Canada, west coast of Canada at least, it's supposed to be summer. We haven't had a good summer this year. It's been very cool, very fall-like uh, summer. It hasn't been. Usually, we have a hot summer for at least 2 3 months, maybe 2 months at least. Two hot summers. But this year we haven't had that. We have days that are hot, but not constant heat for a couple of months. Like for example, there are wild berries in the park across, and the wild berries are not giving fruits because there's no heat. There's no constant hot weather for them to grow and ripen. So global warming is real, and it does affect animals and dogs as well. So they will be shedding more than usual. It's very confusing for dogs. For example, my own dogs, at least, uh, like as I said, it hasn't been as warm as it should be. So there are days that it's hot, and there are days that are cool, even during the summer past few weeks. So my dog body, they automatically they try to figure out, is it cold, is it hot, is it cold, is it hot? It's very confusing. So they shed, they don't shed, they shed, they don't shed. It's very confusing and unnatural for them as well. So yes, that is something that. All right. I hope that I answered your question. Where are we? Durga, please tell how to stop biting for beagle. I tried a lot of method. Yes. So I know you have many of you are asking about puppy biting or beagle biting. I have a link in the chat area. Go ahead and watch that video. Is called effective ways of what was it? Let me see the title of the video. Effective beagle puppy biting solutions. So go ahead and watch that video. Um, I know there are tons of methods out there to stop the puppy biting. I just want to add something to this question. I think it's coming up a lot, so I want to add more, a little bit more. Most of the methods that you watch and learn or see or hear here and there is not solving the core problem, which is basically boredom. Puppies are very healthy. Overall, puppies are healthy animals. They're because they're young, they have a lot of energy, a lot of time, and they want to do things. And if you don't provide enough exercise and stimulation, both mental and physical stimulation, they will focus on something else, which is biting and nipping and chewing things. This is the main reason why your puppy is doing that, biting, right? Because of lack of mental and physical stimulation. So you want to provide proper amount of mental and physical stimulation during the day for your puppy, so your puppy doesn't have that energy or focus to focus on biting and things like that. It is something that they will do. It is something that they are supposed to do, but we can manage and control it. So, for instance, my own puppy, if I don't manage her properly, or if I under exercise her, or even if I over exercise her, she'll go and start. The other day, she started chewing the wall just because I was busy. Guess I was busy. I wasn't paying attention. I had over exercised her, and I had exercised her, and instead of allowing her to go and rest, I just kept her in that state of mind of um, continue on exercising more, and her adrenaline was constant, still running, so she didn't know what to do, so she started working on the wall, right? So even happens to me, right? So you, as a dog owner or puppy owner, you have to be very vigilant, and you have to be very aware of what your puppy is doing, what it's not doing, where it's staying, what is it safe environment? Uh, do I need to relax my puppy? Do I need to place my puppy to go and have a nap and sleep, or does my puppy need to go for a walk, or things like that? You have to constantly pay attention to your puppy. And the main reason, again, this happens is because you're either exercising it or stimulating your puppy not enough or too much. So even stimulating puppies too much can cause a lot of issues. Hitesh is saying my beagle puppy is 8 weeks. That's great. 8 weeks old is super young and sweet. Arm 19. I have a beagle. He's 2 years old and becomes really too friendly with other dogs, and because of that, the other dogs try to bite it. So you see, that's the spirit of beagle. They are friendly with other dogs, friendly with everything. That's one of the good things about beagles, which is they're very friendly and very um, I would say free spirit. So they think that all dogs are their friend. They don't realize that not all dogs like that. They're free spirited and they are like that. They want to have fun. Beagles want to have fun all the time. So in a way, what you want to do is, I'm not saying, don't let your puppy or your beagle to have fun, but as long as you have some control and you teach your beagle that this is bad and this is good, you have to teach your dog or your beagle that life is not always positive, 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 positive. Life is good. Life is all fun and game and this and that. Teach your beagle that life is good, but there's bad as well. So the way you do that is you teach your dog yes and no. Not only yes, yes, or not only no, no. You have to teach yes and no, positive and negative. Always try to teach your dog positive and negative. Teach them and let them know that life is not only fun, happy-go-lucky, happy, fun games, play and fun only. Life can also have negative experiences. So you have to teach your dog that there's positive experiences and there's negative experiences as well. So the way you do that is you ask your beagle to approach, for example, in your case, Arm, I think that if you're meeting another dog, just pause for a second, um, rather than approaching that dog with that mentality and that energy. Pause, uh, pay attention, sniff, and don't feel bad to ask your beagle to move away or move on after 30 seconds. 30 seconds is a good enough time for two dogs to sniff each other, maybe sniff each other bums and mouth and things like that, and move away. Within 30 seconds, they can get a lot of information, whether they, and also that 30 seconds gives you enough time um, to understand whether that dog is safe to interact with your beagle or not. Within 30 seconds, you can kind of figure out if it's a safe dog or not, right? So if you remove within 30 seconds, that dog may not even think about responding to your beagle. And the other thing is, I think when you teach your beagle just walk away, it learns that, okay, I can't just interact with dogs all the time, every dog. There are dogs that I can, there are dogs that I can. And most of these things comes from uh, humans controlling the situation, because as I said, life is not only positive and negative. It's not that all dogs are good dogs. There are bad dogs out there too. There are dogs who can't tolerate um, uh, happy-go-lucky energy as well. uh, they don't like being on their face, other dogs being on their face. There are those things. Most dogs, most beagles, they don't know it, and you have to teach it, unfortunately, and you have to control it, right? So yeah, just feel the need that you have to be putting some energy and effort into it to teach your beagle how to behave in public. Tavlin is saying, can beagles socialize with some dangerous biting dogs? Of course not. If the other dog is dangerous and is biting, it's better not to socialize with that dog. Not only because it may cause injuries in your beagle, but it teaches your beagle that uh, this is how is supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to be behaving with other dogs, and they learn bad lessons. If a behavior is repeated few times, they will learn it. So you don't want to encourage that behavior for any dog, actually. Silly Beagle Dog says, hi, everyone. Hello, that's a Silly Beagle Dog. Cute. So cute. Um, okay. Let me just uh, figure out where is the next question. Hetish is saying, Beagle puppy is just 8 weeks old. She just doesn't stop biting. I tried to divert her attention to some chew toys. I tried to divert her attention, but it's not helping. Any suggestion, please? Yes. So yes, go ahead and watch the video on the link that I've shared in the chat area, and you'll have a good idea. And Teresa is in the house. Thank you for being here, Teresa. Is behind your right shoulder, Jonah, and behind your left shoulder, Harvey. Beautiful people. Yes. So this is Harvey, and this is Jonah. I don't have the picture of Annie at the moment. Should come on the slide anytime soon, but you'll see Annie's picture in the slide. I don't have a good picture like this because I just got Annie a few months ago, so I don't have a good picture of her like that. So Jonah, this is Jonah. Jonah was my first beagle. He passed away a few years ago, and he was the I would say the main reason um, why I started this journey in dog training and in general in dogs. No, the he was the main reason I started Jonah's Ark. Jonah's Ark is my dog daycare business that I own and operate. And Jonah was the mascot of um, Jonah's Ark. He was the boss. He was the boss boy, boss dog. So he was what I usually used to do with him was he would interview the dogs who were interested in coming to our daycare. He would interview them for a few minutes, and based on his readings, I would read his behavior, I would read his body language, and I would decide whether that dog was okay to attend our daycare or not. And he passed away a few years ago, and Harvey took over that position of interviewing dogs. Now he's the one who's interviewing dogs to come to our play care. And now Annie, my new puppy, she's being trained. She hopefully she'll take over that position of interviewing dogs. And believe it or not, these two, they because they live and work in the doggy daycare that I run here, they tend to they were managing, and Harvey is still managing the daycare. What that means is he'll go and tell dogs, hey, stop running around or stop doing this, stop being so excited. He'll manage the daycare, and that's one of the good things that I like about working with beagles overall, but also in general dogs that I have is I use them and they help me to run my business. So that's the good thing about having well behaved, well trained beagles. So my next challenge is to train Annie. You've seen her in my videos. She's going to be the next representative and mascot of my business, Saro Dog Training and Jonah's Ark Doggy Center. So yeah, that's the story. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your question, Teresa. Thomas is saying, my dog is 3 years old, 60-kilogram mix, and it is aggressive towards the other dogs, excluding older young dogs. My dog gets high waiting for reaction. Other dog are afraid to trust it. Yeah, this is something that I think not trusting your dog is a big problem. That's I would say number one reason why I don't suggest dog owners to train their dogs using treats or food or aversive tools or anything, because you're not able to build connection and trust with your dog. Most dogs are trained, unfortunately, using treats from the day one. Most dog owners, including you, Thomas, I'm guessing, you use treats to train your dog. And when you use treats to train the dogs, uh, you're not building trust and you're not building connection with your dog. In a way, you're building a fake relationship when you're using treats. And I'm sorry if it comes off a little bit harsh or mean, but I don't mean it in that way. My mission and my goal in this channel and in this world is to change the concept of dog training. And I know many professionals, many dog trainers, many big professional and known dog trainers will say, no, that's treats are the only way that you have to train that, and it's easy and it's the only way that you should use treats to train dogs. I want to challenge them. I want to ask you and them, whoever is watching this video, I want you to challenge your dog and challenge yourself in a way. Try to connect with your dog without tools, without anything, without treats or food. The reason your dogs are having behavioral issues is because you don't have connection with your dogs. And when you don't have connections with your dog is confused. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know how to behave. It doesn't know how to live with humans in a human society. It's different when you have that connection with your dog that is pure and without depending on it to anything. Your dog, you can communicate to your dogs and tell them anything that you want them to do and learn and be without words, without even training them. It happens very naturally. It's hard to explain it and say and tell people to believe this, but the connection that I have with my beagles, the connection that I had with Jonah, for instance, it was special. I didn't have to tell him anything. He knew exactly he could read my mind and I could read his mind. And same thing happens with Harvey. When you have that connection, you read each other's mind and therefore they know, okay, I shouldn't be doing this or I should be doing that. It's very different. And that's the challenge I want you to take and teach your dog to learn to connect with you without anything. And that takes time and effort, I understand. But as a human being, our challenge is not to get results right away. Our challenge is to get results overall and change our life, right? Our challenge should be to say that I'm going to spend some quality time with my dog or my dogs without using anything. Let me connect and build a healthy relationship with my dogs, and that is very healthy way of training a dog without the use of treats or food or tools or gadgets or being alpha to your dog. One of the examples that I use is pretend that I have a burger in my hand, right? So I have a burger in my hand, and I'm talking about how to connect with your dog, how to teach your dog something. And be honest with me, at the moment, are you paying attention to me or are you paying attention to this thing? I'm sure you're paying attention to this thing, right? Because this is different. This is something that it catches your eyes, right? It surprised you, right? So you're paying attention to this. So this is what happens when you train a dog. When you're treat training a dog, your dog is paying attention to the treat, to the food, not to the words that is coming out of your mouth, not to the connection that you're trying to make with your dog. At the moment, I'm guessing, and I'm sure in a way that you're still paying attention to this, right? You're not paying attention to me. So I'm going to put this away so you can pay attention to me. So now it's just me and you. There's nothing between us to distract us. Now you can pay complete attention to me, and you can understand that we don't need tools or anything or food or anything to train dogs. Now you're paying attention completely to me and you're understanding exactly what I'm saying. We can connect just like this with our dogs if we just take the time to make this connection with our dogs. And that only happens if you invest the time and energy and the, the environment to connect with your dog. Most dog owners, probably you as well, work a lot and you're spending maybe 20 minutes to an hour with your dog per day. And you want your dog to change. You want your dog to behave properly. I know your dog is living with you 24/7, but is just living with you. It's not with you. It's not attached to you. It's not connected to you. It just lives with you. So in order to change your dog's behavior, you have to invest time for being with your dog. If you're not with your dog, I'm not saying spend 24/7 with your dog. I'm saying when you have time, really connect with your dog in a deeper level. Then you're going to see results. Then you're going to see behavioral changes. And that is one of the problems. Not having that connection with our dogs causes you not to trust your dog. Therefore, your dog doesn't trust you. So this is why you have a problem. You have dog with problems. So that should be your first homework, Thomas, to connect to your dog to the deepest level. Instead of depending on food, gadgets, and this and that, I want you to connect with your dog in the deepest level. Second thing that I want you to do is don't put your dog in a situation that behaves that way. If you put him in that situation, he's going to behave that way. Therefore, he's going to be practicing that behavior. So you don't want your dog to practice that behavior. You want your dog to not practice that behavior. So instead of putting in a situation that behaves that way, don't just avoid those situations for now. Number 3, start providing your dogs daily 5 essential needs. What are those daily 5 essential needs? They are exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. These are the things that you need to provide your dog. You may be providing a lot of exercise or not too much exercise, a little exercise. You're not probably training your dog. You're only training your dog when your dog is misbehaving. You're only training or trying to teach or stop your dog from behaving certain way only when it's behaving that way. That's not training. Training, I'll do a video in near future. I'll explain and I'll show you guys what training means exactly, so you have a better understanding and idea what training means when we talk about training. But training, you need to do every day. Everything, every single thing that you're doing every day should be considered as training. And socialization is something that most dogs are lacking as well. Socialization is something that not many people focus on. Most people, what they do is they think, oh, I'm just going to do this with my dog and I'm going to let it say hi to this dog and that dog, and that's about it. No, socialization has to be done properly. There are lots of videos in my channel, and I'm going to make more videos about this topic as well. So a lot of things to talk about and teach and show you as well. And then is care and then affection, right? Care is feeding your dog and grooming and all that. And then next thing is affection. So I'm guessing, and this is a wild guess, but it's very common problem that most dog owners, they share affection, a lot of affection with their dogs at the wrong time, at the wrong state of mind. And many dog owners also, they provide these five essential needs in the wrong order. They provide maybe get up in the morning and affection and care and a little bit of socialization, no training and a lot of exercise. But you need to provide your dog daily five essential needs in this order. Exercise should be number one, training should be number two, socialization focus has to be number three, care and affection come next. So work on those, and you'll see that you're going to have a little bit more success in changing your dog's behavior. Also, watch a lot of my videos, my channel, to learn how to deal with this issue. So, unfortunately, there are lots of questions left. Unfortunately, we're out of time, and hopefully, you gained some input in your dog's mind and understanding your dog. I'll be back next. The upcoming live show would be on Wednesday, um, August 19 at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Unfortunately, I didn't get to answer all of your questions. Again, if you want me to answer your questions for sure, and if you're desperate to, you need answer, make sure to use the super chat option to get your questions answered right away. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I'll see you on Wednesday and on my next video. If you're a new member here, again, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon as well. And I'll see you on Wednesday, August 19 at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And don't forget to watch my video on Sunday, August 16, which is going to blow your mind. I guarantee it. So I'll see you then, and until next time, have fun with your dog.